Paddy Pimblett shocks the world by telling Joe Rogan he's not fighting Justin Gaethje at UFC 324, and the fallout from this bombshell is about to rip the lightweight division apart, so stay with me, because the reasons behind this reveal are explosive and absolutely game-changing.
Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje, it's gonna be interesting fight because we know Paddy Pimblett, he does more jiu-jitsu, grappling. If they go striking, I think Justin will beat him. But if they try more grappling, then Paddy got this, and who knows what they're gonna do, you know? What kind of fights they will show. And yeah, I don't know who will be winning. Both can win.
Well, whoever wins that fight, whether it is Paddy or Justin, how do you think they fare against when Ilya is ready to return?
Yeah, they have no chance against Ilya. Either Paddy or Justin, you know. Ilya, very, very good champion. We know he hits hard, and also he is good wrestler, good jiu-jitsu.
The MMA world is in chaos, trying to predict what would happen if Paddy did step in, but now that he's openly refusing, every forecast, every betting line, every expert opinion has been thrown into a blender, and trust me, the truth behind his decision is even crazier than you think. Some analysts were hyping this as Paddy's breakout moment. Others were counting on Gaethje to dominate, and now we're staring at a void that could reshape the entire division. Keep watching, because when we circle back to Paddy's reasoning, it's going to completely flip how you view UFC matchmaking.
So if he wants to assure his title shot, he has to fight with Justin Gaethje, because if he fights with Arman, I think that Arman's gonna beat him. So the easiest path he has right now to get the title shot is Justin.
Okay, thank you.
Stylistically.
Thank you.
Dan Hooker didn't hesitate to give his brutal take, saying Paddy might not be ready for a top contender like Gaethje, and now that Paddy's stepping back, Hooker's warning has never felt more prophetic. He points to Gaethje's elite takedown defense and relentless pressure, calling this a massive leap for Paddy that could have ended badly if it happened. And you won't want to miss the insider details coming up about how this fight could have literally ended in disaster for Pimblett.
Gaethje said, I'm not fighting ever again, and I'll retire if you don't give me a title shot. And they fucking bent the knee. They bent the knee to Justin Gaethje and just gave him what he wanted through him threatening to retire after beating Fiziev on short notice. Are you hearing what I'm saying right now? And the only guy, Arman took a fight against Dan Hooker, destroyed him, demolished him, made the call out, said he'd be ready for this day. And he's the only one not rewarded by any of this. It's on Dana White to say, we called Arman, and he said, what, Arman's talking shit? We asked him if he wanted to be on the card. He said no, he's going to be out till July. Unless we hear that and Arman confirms it. This is insane. But fuck Arman. Let's do this. Yeah. Justin Gaethje, the boys in the main event, dude. Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. I reckon Pimblett's gonna win.
So I know the last time you won that interim belt, you threw it on the ground in the cage, says it wasn't the priority for you. Do you have different feelings towards it this time and what it could mean at this point in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
MMA Guru had Paddy pegged to upset Gaethje with movement, range, and grappling, predicting a second-round finish that would have shocked the world, and now we realize just how close this showdown almost got. Guru's breakdown of takedowns, sticky grappling, and patient control paints a picture of what could have been an MMA masterclass. Stick around because we're about to reveal why Paddy's withdrawal changes everything Guru predicted.
That it wasn't a priority, it was that I knew Khabib was next, and if I was going to sit there and think that I was any kind of champion with that belt, with Khabib being next, I think I was, going to be foolish. I needed that mindset to prepare for that fight, and he beat me. And but ultimately, like I said, this gets us paid as a champion, and it definitely gives me the chance to fight Ilya. I want to fight Ilya. I want to play spoiler just like I did in Khabib and Tony. I'm going to fuck this up for everybody. And there's going to be no Paddy and Ilya. I'm going to do the same thing I did for that fight. And then I'm going to fight Ilya on the White House card if he's ready to fight again. We'll see when he's ready.
Din Thomas threw cold water on the hype, warning Gaethje's intensity could overwhelm even a sharp Paddy, and with this revelation that Paddy isn't fighting, Thomas's concerns suddenly seem prophetic. He emphasized timing and opportunity, saying Paddy had a window against Gaethje, but now that window is slammed shut, leaving the division in disarray. Stay tuned because the next segment uncovers who benefits most from Paddy stepping away, and it's not who you think.
On paper, I mean, first thoughts, who are you leaning towards in Gaethje versus Paddy?
Oh, I'm leaning towards Gaethje for sure.
Yeah?
I think absolutely. I mean, just, you know, Gaethje he's still a banger, man. And it's somewhat like Paddy's crafty. Paddy's really crafty. And he's shown that he can withstand certain things and he can hang around with certain guys. But I just think, you know, when Justin Gaethje gets rolling downhill and the amount of violence and he's able to catch up to people, like you can try to be crafty as you possibly can with Justin Gaethje, but eventually he's going to catch up to you and you got to stand up and fight him. Max Holloway was able to do that. Like Max Holloway was, you know, he was obviously doing very well, but then when he sat down on his punches, I mean, we saw what happened. So I'm not sure that Paddy Pimblett has the ability to do that, and I'm pretty sure Paddy Pimblett can't take Gaethje down. So I'm leaning towards Gaethje, in fact, pretty heavily.
Aaron Bronstetter sees this as a seismic moment for the UFC lightweight division, and Paddy's withdrawal only amplifies the stakes for everyone else in line. An interim belt is still on the table, and the spotlight now shifts to Justin Gaethje and other contenders scrambling to seize their shot. Don't scroll away because the insider implications for upcoming title fights are about to drop, and they are huge.
Title between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. They got Pimblett as the favorite here. Do you agree with the odds? Do you agree that Paddy Pimblett with Paddy Pimblett being the favorite against Justin Gaethje?
Nah, I don't think he's the favorite. I wouldn't have him. Gaethje's takedown defense is pretty sharp. I don't see him. I don't know. Like, we just haven't seen like Paddy in there get in there that often and mix it up with the best guys in their prime. So it's a big opportunity for him, but we'll see.
Brendan Schaub reminds us why this matchup was pure spectacle. Gaethje's violence, Paddy's charisma, but now with Paddy out, the perfect storm is turning into pure uncertainty. Schaub points out the fan expectations, the potential action, and the pay-per-view draw, all disrupted by Paddy's sudden reveal. Keep watching because the fallout is just getting started, and it's going to affect every fighter in the division.
Let's do this. Yeah. Justin Gaethje, the boys in the main event, dude. Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. I reckon Pimblett's going to win. He keeps at very good range. Very good range. Keeps his distance a lot. Doesn't get caught up in the pocket too much. Throws in volume when he does throw a lot of the time with his 1-2, 1-2, and then a jump knee. And a lot of dynamic things that can get the better of Gaethje. Plus, he's going to mix in the takedowns. And Gaethje's getting up there in his career. He's just going through more and more wars, more and more scraps, a ton of time off. Pimblett coming into his prime, has been in shape for a while for this matchup as well. Pimblett, get me on the Chatting Pony pod. I know I'm controversial, but listen, guys, we could... come on, now we could make this a big deal in the build-up here. In person, I'd go in person. But there you go. This is an amazing fight. This is a banger matchup. And I do think Pimblett will win. I think...
Wade Plemon breaks down the unusual paths that brought us here, highlighting that Gaethje was chasing a title or stepping away, and Paddy was climbing fast, but untested against elite contenders. With Paddy now refusing the fight, Plemon says the UFC faces a high-stakes decision that could redefine matchmaking strategy. And coming up, we'll reveal which fighter might now leapfrog into a title shot, thanks to Paddy's shocking choice.
Pimblett will probably sub him as well. I think he'll mix it up. Takedowns, striking, something Fiziev did, but doesn't have the jiu-jitsu to keep a hold of Gaethje with. And Fiziev kept Gaethje down in like an inverted triangle position for like the majority of round one. I know Gaethje's somewhat decent at scrambling, but it turns out Chandler has no ability to control in any way whatsoever without throwing himself off the top of someone and ending up on bottom, or messing it up completely and using a ton of energy for no success. So I think Pimblett's got that back-taking ability. Pimblett's got that control, that stick to you, that get you in a submission position type jiu-jitsu, which is obviously any type of jiu-jitsu, but you know what I mean? He's got that level that I think is going to be able to keep Gaethje down with his back taken for a while in this fight. So I'm going to go with Paddy Pimblett here. I'm going to say Pimblett wins this fight by TKO to ground and pound in the second round, or a submission win in the second round. And we'll see what happens. Because after that, he's going to be fighting Ilia Topuria at the White House in January. Or not in January, in May or whatever.
James Lynch sees Paddy's withdrawal as a pivotal test, not just for him, but for Gaethje and the division itself. Without Paddy in the cage, the dynamics change. Contenders like Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria suddenly have a clearer path. Stick around, because the next revelation about who benefits most is a bombshell that will shake the rankings.
No, and we've seen him. He's moving. Justin Gaethje's moving better, but when he wants to really sit down and be violent, he can. And I think that's going to present problems for Paddy. It's going to force Paddy to make some mistakes, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to take the amount of punishment that Justin Gaethje's able to dish out.
Yeah, and Michael Bisping framed this as one last major opportunity for Gaethje, and now with Paddy out, Justin's path to the interim belt looks wider than ever. Bisping notes that Paddy's absence instantly reshuffles the division's elite hierarchy. Don't move, because we're about to dive into who emerges as the new frontrunner for the next title fight.
I don't know about that, but I will say, would you agree with this, that this is Paddy Pimblett's best chance at winning a UFC title out of all the
no doubt about it. Yeah. Of all the fighters, this is going to be his best chance, because there is some truth to that. Like Justin, we know he's in the twilight of his career. He's trying to get that belt to say, he was a champ for once, but he wants another opportunity to get the unified belt, right? He wants the legitimate belt. So this is his chance to do it. So for Paddy, I can't imagine Paddy being able to do those things to Arman Tsarukyan, Ilia Topuria. So if he's...
You lose you there, Dean? Not sure if Dean's stream cut out or what's going on there, Dean. I don't know.
All right.
I think you're back. Yeah, you're back.
All right. I'm not sure what happened. I'm sorry.
All good. You can finish your point if you remember it.
No, I was just saying, if he's going to fight anybody, it's going to have to be the older guy in Justin Gaethje, because Arman Tsarukyan, young stallion, trending upwards. Ilia Topuria, young stallion, trending upwards. Justin Gaethje is at the twilight, just trying to solidify his legacy. He's Paddy's best chance of.
Sean O'Malley leaned toward Paddy before, highlighting his toughness and finishing power, but with Paddy stepping back, O'Malley's prediction is instantly void, and the lightweight division hangs in the balance. Paddy's head kick knockout ability is legendary, but now the narrative shifts entirely to who will fill the vacuum he leaves behind. Keep watching, because this next segment uncovers the fighter most poised to capitalize on Paddy's shocking exit.
Division has always been kind of a glory division in the UFC, and I think with Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje, two pretty big names in the sport, plus a fight that, if that fight doesn't deliver the goods, I'd be very surprised. Like, whether there's an interim title on it or not, this is the thing about interim championships. I like them because you get paid to be like a championship wage, right? Like if we want to be for the best interest of the fighters, like I think them fighting for interim titles is good. It's good for their prestige in the future. Like when they're out of the sport, they can say that they were a champion, whether they're an interim champion or not. I mean, Justin Gaethje's been an interim champion. Paddy Pimblett, of course, has not. But I just think that it's going to be a very fun fight, no matter how you look at it, whether you care about interim or not. Is it a fight that you would headline a pay-per-view with if there was no title on the line? Probably not. But with there being an interim championship on the line and the winner of this fight fighting Ilia down the line, like I think that the stakes for this fight are pretty big.
Arman Tsarukyan wasn't shy about his thoughts, hoping Gaethje stays sharp because this might be the last real window for his career. He openly admitted he wasn't a fan of Paddy, believing his rise was fueled more by hype than merit. And now Paddy stepping away confirms Arman's perspective. And here's the kicker: what happens next could redefine who actually earns the next UFC lightweight title shot, so don't blink.
Top 5 most entertaining, most violent, first team all violent fighter to ever grace the octagon. The casuals know him. Paddy Pimblett, they might know him, but he's massive elsewhere, so that's going to draw some eyeballs. That's why
Arman also framed the matchup as striker versus wrestler, predicting a Gaethje win if he controls the grappling exchanges. Now that Paddy isn't fighting, this scenario is irrelevant, but the lessons about preparation, experience, and timing remain critical for the division. Stay locked in because the fallout from Paddy's announcement is only going to get messier and more dramatic as the UFC reshuffles everything.
Let's start with this. Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. Now, Justin Gaethje had said, listen, I'm not going to continue fighting unless I get a title shot. I guess he kind of gets what he wants there as far as he gets an interim shot, right? He was like, I'm going to retire if you don't give me a shot at the belt. And then you have Paddy Pimblett, who, I'll be honest, yes, I did want to see fight Ilia Topuria because they have the rivalry, because it goes back for so long, because I think it would be a fun build to a fight. But when you look at Paddy's record, you have him beating Gordon, old man Tony Ferguson, old man Bobby Green, and then Michael Chandler. You fight who's in front of you, so I guess you can't really blame Paddy for that, but it's like, how does that offer you a #1 contenders fight without fighting someone in the top 5 ever? You know, until this moment. He's 7-0 in the UFC, but he hasn't fought anyone in the top 5 to even get to the title shot. Again, interim, I know, but that doesn't make sense.
So fight fans, Paddy Pimblett's bombshell revelation has changed everything. Does Gaethje march toward the interim belt unopposed? Do younger fighters seize this moment? How does the UFC handle the void left by Paddy? Drop your predictions in the comments, hit subscribe, and buckle up. UFC 324 just got infinitely more unpredictable.